Hey, have you tried painting in a coffee shop? This is just one of the things that I have been doing to help my creativity, and I'm going to be sharing this as well as painting and more in this video. There is just something so nice about going to a cozy place, painting your favorite things, and just dedicating time to your art. As I do that, I'll be sharing my opinion on the Fuumuui Travel brushes, which were very kindly gifted to. I'm an overpacker by nature, so don't feel that you need to have all of these as well. But I bring my etcher field case where I have my Neocolor 2s at the front. I carry some pencils, a watercolor palette, and I usually have two sketchbooks. One will be a watercolor sketchbook like the Caddy Fat book, which I brought in this instance. And then another one will be like a rough mess around sketchbook like the Royal Talons, where I can just do sketches, for example. Taking a closer look at the brushes, they screw on, which has the pro of meaning that it's more stable, but the con of the fact that it just takes more time to put together and put away again. It has a ventilation hole at the end, which is great. I'm comparing the two size 8s so that you can see it against the Princeton AquaElite, and as you can see, the bristles on the Fuumuui are slightly longer. These are the brushes that I'm going to be using for the rest of the video, so take this as like a part review, part paint with me kind of video. And there will also be a giveaway which I will leave linked down below in the description, as well as a discount code if you are interested in these brushes. The sets themselves come with 2 round brushes, of which one is a size 8 and one is a size 4. It then also comes with a flat brush and then a dagger brush. Although I was initially offered the set that comes with 4 round brushes, I asked them if we could switch it to this, because this was the reason that I accepted the collaboration, and that is that I really like having different shapes, and I kind of feel like there are limited options when it comes to having travel brushes that have different shapes. So I was very much drawn to the dagger brush, which is probably no surprise, as well as the flat brush. The flat brush in particular, because I'm really enjoying using them for swatching. The dagger brush I love for florals, especially for doing leaves, and that's what I have done in the pink. And the round brushes, which I'm doing in yellow and I've done in purple, are just good go-to all-purpose round brushes. I feel like the top Maya ones that I have, which is a set that I love as well, they are good all-purpose brushes. So they are firmer, they hold less water, and they'll work for gouache, and they'll also work for watercolor. Whereas these, they are softer, they hold more water, and I feel like they are really more so catered to watercolor brushes. And as you can see in the swatches, they can hold a relatively good amount of water. And that's pretty much it when it comes to my key observations. Hold good water, have nice shapes. I've only used them a couple of times, haven't had any significant issues, but I think that they are a good, relatively well priced. Currently they are £23 set of brushes where you can get a varying range of shapes, and yeah, I have no complaints. No bristles came off, and as you can see, they can come to a really fine point. As I've mentioned, I will be using them to do this painting, so you can just keep an eye out on their performance and make your own assessments. But yeah, I like them. It's funny because for this piece I used all the brushes because obviously I wanted to test them out, but normally I only use one brush. I kind of feel like a lazy painter in that way. And if you're listening, you are a real MVP. I'm not ending the video, but I'm just really curious on that note as to whether you tend to paint with one brush or maybe 2 brushes, or whether you tend to change brushes quite a lot when you're creating a piece, depending on what you are painting. So if you're listening, then let me know your answer down below in the comments. I'm really curious to know, as always. I think at all times, but especially in winter, in January, when it's like cold and gloomy and rainy outside, it's just so important to find things to do that you enjoy, that will get you outside the house, that will benefit you. And yes, in one part it is art, but for me, the other part is actually going outside and going for walks, and combining the two together is essentially what I'm doing when I'm going to coffee shops. I'm finding somewhere nice and warm to drink a nice bit of hot chocolate, have people around, listen to my favorite music, and then paint whatever I want, draw whatever I want. Sometimes I go and I do sketches of flowers in like 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, eyes closed, one line, just the whole works. And I will link a video for you up above where I have done that in the past so that you can join in if you want. The other thing that I sometimes sometimes do is paint florals or paint what I'm looking at. But the aim is really to just go out and I guess fill the cup, fill my creative cup, look for inspiration or let inspiration find me, and then just be in a different environment, be comfy, be warm, and just have a good time. One of my 2024 goals was to go out for a walk at least once a week, which sounds like such a simple thing, but I tell you now, like I always feel like I don't have time for it, in terms of like going for a walk that's not doing groceries or heading to work or going for a meeting or something, just literally going for a walk for the purpose of being outside and going for a walk. And that walk today ended up in a coffee shop, which was lovely. Another thing that I wanted to focus on is dedicating at least one day a month to creating art or having an art trip. And whether it be going to a coffee shop, as I have done, or going to a museum, or even going abroad, staycation, whatever the case may be, the aim is to then just literally dedicate it to being creative in whatever way I feel like being creative then. And I feel like it's important to take a look at your art practice and look at the things that you enjoy doing, look at the things that you don't enjoy doing, and then making changes accordingly. It can be so easy to think about things being the current status quo and thus not changing it, and if it's not broke, don't fix it. But I almost feel like just because it's not broken, it doesn't mean it's not cracking. And and almost like, it's just good to think about how we can make things better for ourselves. And I've gone into this a lot more in my goals video, which I will link for you if you're interested, where I just address things like cutting back on social media, and the irony of the fact that I make YouTube videos is not lost on me, but just, balance. And then putting in place things that will help my creativity, such as going out for walks more, painting without recording. And although I don't know what exactly that will look like for you, and I can't tell you exactly what you should and shouldn't do, I do think that it is important for you to analyze what works for you and what doesn't work for you, and start changing things before they cause a problem. For you, that may look like spending less time on social media, or it may look like going to a coffee shop to create, or painting your comfort subject, or using your comfort medium, getting a different hobby to direct your creative energy elsewhere, using only the supplies that you have, getting a certain new supply, doing an art challenge, or stopping art challenges. The truth is that different people will need different things, and even you as the same person may need different things at different times. So like I said, these are just a few ideas of things that I have been contemplating and I have been putting in place, aim being that it will help me with my creativity, because ultimately you can't pour from an empty cup. So it's important to take time for yourself, for your art, for your creativity, to really just invest in yourself and follow your artistic curiosities. And they don't all have to cost money either. A few months ago, one of the things that I did that I absolutely loved and I can't wait to do in spring was literally on my walk, drew different flowers that I saw and almost like created a bouquet of flowers that I was seeing along my walk. And I tell you now, I have done this walk a number of times, whether it be that I'm heading to a station or a bus or something else, and I had never noticed all those flowers until I'd made it my mission to look for them and sketch them on my walk, and all of a sudden everything looked a lot prettier. I sometimes incorporate timers in my art practice as well, and that is more so to kind of add a gamification, like a game element to creating the art, and to kind of seeing how much can I create in X amount of time. And more times than not, I am surprised by how much information I can actually get down in 1 minute or 2 minutes or even 5 minutes, and how it can just remove that element of hesitation because I haven't got time. I just need to create. And although I think that there's a beauty in having unlimited time as well, I do think that there's a place for adding timers, and the world of mixed media just opens up so many more possibilities. So that's again another thing that you can try to explore. One final thing that I have been absolutely loving doing, especially if I feel like I don't have the time, the energy or the bandwidth to be super creative, is just swatching and experimenting with colors. I find that even if I don't know what I want then, it will help me later on, and that I love. Thank you for being an MVP and good luck in the giveaway. If you love this video, then you'll love this next one where I share the exercises that I do when I am out and about painting on location. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.